Hello, welcome to another episode of the Ninjutsu podcast. I'm your host, Don Rowley. Today is June 1st, 2026, and today starts the trial of Karmelo Anthony in the killing of Austin Metcalf. Karmelo is claiming self-defense. There's another person behind bars right now calling himself Chud the Builder. He is also claiming self-defense. In both cases, according to the available information, the most accurate information that I can get, neither is self-defense. Now, in the Karmelo Anthony case, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of overt racism. So many people will say that blacks cannot be racist against whites, but we are seeing people take Karmelo Anthony's side because he was black and the victim was white. I urge people to read about the case and get the actual facts. Just an example, one of the first things that came out was that Karmelo Anthony did not have a knife, that he had a cleat sharpener. Well, as it turns out, there is no such thing as a cleat sharpener. But for a few days, it was all over the internet. People were saying, you see, he did not bring a knife to a school event. He was not looking for trouble. It was a cleat sharpener, and he was defending himself. I've read the 7-page arrest report, and it looks like one-on-one, not multiple people jumping him, and the booking photos and the records showed Karmelo Anthony had absolutely no damage done to him. According to the arrest reports, the people that said things in there, it looks like they were trying to shove Karmelo Anthony. One person, Austin Metcalf, was trying to shove or force Karmelo Anthony out of a tent. It was not raining. A lot of people try to say that it was raining, but there was a video from across the field that showed the tent. You could not see anything happening inside the tent, but you could see people boil out of the tent when it happened, and you could also see that there was no rain happening prior to the event, the stabbing. Now, there's a very important thing about the Karmelo Anthony case, also Chud the Builder. Both of them basically went into an area. Again, Karmelo Anthony went into the tent of another team, and according to witnesses, he started, basically talking smack. And when confronted, he helped escalate the situation, by taunting the person, and touch me and find out. In self-defense, you cannot have anything to do with escalating the situation. You cannot initiate the situation. That's one of the things with Chud the Builder. He went up to a black person, he's white, and used racial epithets. And as you can imagine, the person that was being called the N-word decided to get physical. At which point, Chud the Builder pulled out a deadly weapon, a gun, shot the guy, and managed to shoot himself in the process. That's not self-defense. You don't get to go up to somebody, insult them, or cause trouble, and then when they use their fist, you use a deadly weapon. Aside from the fact that you don't start things, you don't escalate to deadly force. Chud the Builder used a gun, Karmelo Anthony used a knife. In neither case, according to the available evidence, were they justified for using deadly force. You can only use deadly force, a knife, a gun, or whatever, if someone's interfered with their life. That's one of the reasons why the Karmelo Anthony team, Team Karmelo, has tried to spread the rumor that multiple people jumped Karmelo and he was defending himself. Multiple people can put you in fear for your life, but there was nothing in the arrest report that said anything like that. Chud the Builder's case is a little bit more clear, and it was like, there's one guy on one-on-one fists, so the gun was totally inappropriate. And I hope both of them rot in prison. One thing, I urge people to follow both cases and see how this is not self-defense and this is not a case. In general, yes, there are standing ground laws, but you can't have anything to do with starting a situation. So you can't go up to somebody and start talking smack. And if somebody comes up to you, you can't talk smack back to them. You can try to de-escalate, but if you start throwing insults back, then it's not self-defense anymore. So yeah, the Karmelo Anthony case, I urge people to watch it. It's starting today. The arrest report was 7 pages long. On page 6, there's the name of an officer who's taken witness statements and the phones of people that videotape. I'm dating myself. But yeah, so evidently there are videos of the actual situation. They haven't released it prior to the case, but we probably will see it if we, during the trial. The only people that probably have seen that is either the DA or the grand jury, both of which, again, they decided to charge Karmelo Anthony with first-degree murder, not manslaughter or self-defense or anything like that. So watch the case and understand that, as a ninja, you try to avoid combat. Fujita Seiko, in his book that I translated, said is looking, if you can see trouble coming, get out of there. He likened it to seeing rain clouds and just taking precautions not to get rained on. And if you get into a situation where fists are thrown, at the first opportunity, disengage and run. That's the whole thing behind Tansogata, the Dogakureru. It's not called Jujitsu or Yawara or anything like that. It literally means ways of escape. There's a saying in Japanese, rather than 36 stratagems, running away is best. Sanjuroke yori nigeru ni shikazu. I've translated the 36 strategies. That's the last one there. And yes, avoiding fights, running away from fights, de-escalating fights are all preferred. And if you want to claim self-defense, you cannot have anything to do with escalating the situation to violence. Stay safe, watch the trial, and hopefully justice will be served and Karmelo Anthony will spend the rest of his life behind prison. And Chud the Builder will be right there in the next cell block. Bye.